right, good morning everyone. Welcome to our first of 3 8th grade moving on ceremonies. We've made it. Congratulations everybody. So we couldn't ask for a better day. This is beautiful weather. Your family is here today to celebrate this important milestone. So typically I would congratulate you on 4 successful years of completion at the Galvin, but we all know the last year and a half has been anything but typical. I'm going to give you a sneak preview of what you'll read in the yearbook for my message, because I want to share some words with you in person. You've all endured much more than what was to be expected in 7th and 8th grade. As adults, all of us have been inspired by how well you've handled yourselves and your commitment to your education and the leaders you've been at the Galvin this year as 8th graders. It started one day last year with Learn Anywhere on March 13th on a Friday. That should have been a sign of things to come. Then we went full remote. Then you went to Zoom classes. Then we created something called a hybrid schedule. Then we came back to full in person. No dances, no lockers, socially distanced lunches, questionable movie choices by Mr. Tetrault, mass breaks, masks, constant hand sanitizing, cohorts instead of classes. You stayed in the class while the teachers went to you. It's been a crazy time, but through it all, on a personal level, you've inspired me every day to get here and do the right thing and be here for you, because you've done that for us. So whatever challenge has been thrown at you, you've handled it with grace and dignity. Despite all these missed opportunities and challenges, ones that I wish you could have had, you are leaving the Galvin more prepared than I think any other 8th grade class. You've learned how to make adjustments. You've learned how to be flexible. You've learned how to adapt to new challenges. You've learned how to not give up. You've learned to figure it out. And most often in life, that's what it's all about. You've learned how to organize yourselves, whether it's been online or in the classroom. You've learned how to advocate for yourselves and ask for help. You've learned how to be creative. So when I hear of learning loss, I don't think about that for you all. It's been quite the opposite. It's been remarkable what you've accomplished this year. So we're so proud of you as young people and the people you've become over the last 4 years. You've rose to the occasion, and I always believe 8th graders set the tone in our school, and this was the most important year in my career at the Galvin for 8th grade to step up, and you did that. So I'll forever be thankful for what you've done for us this year. But thank you. I didn't know what to expect this year, but I knew I could count on you guys. And I know the road hasn't been easy, but you're ready for a new chapter in your life. But as you go on to high school and beyond, please remember these lessons that we try to teach you every day. Lessons bigger than the textbooks. Dream big. Believe in yourself. Choose your own path. Never give up. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't ever underestimate what you're capable of accomplishing. And you know what I always say, do the right thing and take care of one another. So on behalf of the Galvin community and your families, we wish you continued success in your happiness in high school and beyond. We will always support you, and GMS will always be your home. Enjoy the next few days, because as Mr. T says, this is it as a class. You're going different ways on Friday. So enjoy this time. Make the most out of it. I know that's what I'll be doing. Be good to each other, and have a well-deserved, awesome summer break. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve as your principal. Mr. T, over to you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Colantoni. So little instructions for everyone here so you can see how the morning will go. Students, I have no visuals for you, so you're just going to have to listen. All right? Before we begin today's moving on and recognition ceremony, we'd like to let everyone know how the ceremony will work. We'll work through the entire team going one cohort at a time. We'll begin with cohort 1, then 2, 3, so forth, so forth. Students, when your name is called, please stand and wait at your seat until all the rest of the students in your cohort have been called. Once all 15 students are standing, we'll give a round of applause. At that time, the entire cohort under the direction of Mrs. Hammer, will come on up and stand in front of the tent. You'll be facing your peers and your parents. When you come up to the tent, you'll stay in alphabetical order, leaving your row from the left. Everyone know their left? And you will come on up, receive your moving on certificate, and a COVID-safe fist bump from Mr. Colantoni. The entire cohort will remain up front in front of the tent and the podium for any pictures for parents at that time. Parents, you might want to, if you need to move to take a picture, that's fine. Also, at this time, while the cohort is in front, we will take the opportunity to recognize some students in the cohort for their team contributions this year or for specialized subject recognitions. Without further ado, we'll begin the 2021 8th grade moving on and recognition ceremony. Can I have, please, at this time, the A1 teacher?
Sophia Anderson, Emma Burns, Eleanor Butler, Mark Gagne, Giovanna Gervasi, Ryan Hogan, Siobhan Lombardi, Michaela Lyons, Molly McGee, Jack Neal, Monica O'Brien, Sean O'Rourke, George Palmer, and Sam Seidman.
Might need to push down a little bit to your left, everyone. Oh, get him out there. You want that instead? Yeah, that's fine. Keep following your person in front of you. Sophia Anderson, keep going. So you can see your parents as well. We also want to, as they're getting their certificates, I do want to recognize a few of these students in this particular cohort. Receiving the 8th grade Health and Wellness Award for Team A will be Sophia Anderson. A participant in the peer mentor group, which if you don't know what the peer mentor group was, 8th graders will peer mentor, 7th and 8th graders peer mentor our younger students throughout the year. And so we want to recognize Emma Burns for her contribution to the mentors. Receiving the Excellence in Spanish for World Language, Team A, Mark Gagne. Again, another student who was a peer mentor to our younger students in commitment to inspiring academic excellence for them, Ryan Hogan. The 8th grade Team A most conscientious student, Siobhan Lombardi. For consistent excellence in chorus, the 8th grade Team A Directors Award, Michaela Lyons. Consistent excellence in concert band, the 8th grade Team A Directors Award, Molly McGee. Galvin Middle School, another peer mentor to our younger kids, which is just awesome, Jack Neal. And finally, the 8th grade STEM Award for Team A, Excellence in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, will go to George Palmer. Great job. Cohort A1, you may head back to your seats. At this time, I'd like to call up the teacher for cohort A2. Listen, A1, well done. Everyone else, it's a tough act to follow.
Eliana Axelrod, Marcello Caruso, Wisely Che, Colleen Curran, Constantina Delidi, Neve Fitzgerald, Charles Gagne, Kayla Gallagher, Sarah Marsh, Andrew Nett, Brandon Nett, Ria Patel, Yash Patel, Tony Marie Whitson.
Well done, A2. Few students from A2 that we would like to recognize as well. For most consistent effort throughout the year, the 8th grade Team A award goes to Marcello Caruso. Another Galvin Middle School peer mentor, which says a lot about this 8th grade class, Colleen Curran. This next student has a couple of recognitions. For yearbook staff, the 8th grade, and parents, in case you don't know, our 8th graders design the yearbook every year. Some volunteers come and decide to partake in that with Mr. Winarski from the B team, so we had a few from the A team put that together. This person was also going to be recognized for 8th grade Team A Directors Award in Orchestra. This next person also is getting an Excellence in Spanish Award for Team A and a Visual Performing Art Award for Excellence in Art as well, Constantina Delidi. And then another no surprise, another peer mentor from our 8th graders, Kayla Gallagher. Well done, A2. You may walk back to your cohorts. At this time, I'd like to call up the teacher for A3.
Sophia Butiri, Riley Carroll, Deirdre Coleman, Ariana Ferry, Jackson Fitzpatrick, Joey Bury, Ty Galante, Alexis Lee, Hudson Little, Lucas Malone, Dylan McCarthy, Dan McHugh, Rachel Rojewski, Shay Sunken, Jade Waterhouse.
All right, at this time, we'd like to recognize just a few students from cohort A3. Another Galvin Middle School peer mentor, Sophia Bucieri. For the most team spirit for the 8th grade Team A, Ariana Ferry. Galvin Middle School yearbook staff, Rachel Rojavensky. Eighth grade Health and Wellness Award for Team A, Shay Sunken. An 8th grade STEM Award for Excellence in Science, Technology, and Engineering, Ariana Ferry. Great job, 8-3. You may get your COVID-safe fist bump now. At this time, I'd like to call up the teacher for A4. I would introduce them, but I don't know who it is. So they're gonna, oh, it's Mr. Hall. This is a social studies teacher for A4.
All right, I didn't have to introduce myself. Thank you. All right, Ava Bertrand, Matthew Burton, Kadia Charles, Michael Cavaluzzi, Alexis Davidson, Tyler Donahue, Jaden Forbes, Cooper Gaudette, Samantha Gawk, Zachary Gawk, Maya Goss, Ella Santinello, Olivia Skillings, and Mackenzie Valentine.
I love seeing the little interactions with the teachers and the staff. There was clearly an inside joke with Mr. Hall and a student there, so that was awesome to see. For this cohort, A4, we would like to present the 8th grade World Language Award Team A Excellence in Spanish to Mackenzie Valentine. Gotta get everyone in here so parents can take pictures. Watch out for the balloons. It's a wind tunnel in here. All right, one final applause for A4. Get your COVID-safe fist bump. At this time, I'd like to call up the teacher for A5, who I believe is our science teacher, Mr. Souza.
Morning. Glenn Calder, Rachel Kaplan, Ian Christie, Elizabeth Gaffney, Ethan Jusome, Robert Kimball, Jonas Lillet, Carly Martone, Dejaline Medina, Cole Mealy, Adeline Moon, Gianna Silvestri, Madeline Taylor, Gianni Vicioso, and David Zani.
As you get your moving on certificates now, we do want to recognize one person from the A5 cohort, the 8th grade Scholar Athlete Team A Award for Academic and Athletic Excellence is going to be going to Elizabeth Gaffney. One final applause for A5. And a fist bump, yes. Our COVID-safe fist bump. It is absolutely amazing to see the transformation from little 5th graders to now high school students. For our last cohort, I would like to call up our English teacher from Team A, Ms. Murgo.
Brooklyn Calder, Sean Callanan, Daisy Casesso, Kyle Clare, Zach Courtwright, Brianna Cribby, Kieran Forty, Kelsey Forty, Brandon Iannelli, Aiden Mayhack, Christian Mayhack, Chris McDonald, Jen Patrica, and AJ Stanley.
I'd like to recognize a few A6 students here. For consistent excellence in 8th grade physical education, the Team A recognition goes to Brianna Cribby. And we have 2 recognitions for 8th grade Visual Performing Arts Award for Team A for excellence in art. The first person is Genevieve Patrica. And the second recipient is Brianna Cribby. All right, COVID-safe fist bump. We just have one more part to our moving on ceremony. Parents, I do want to let you know once our ceremony concludes, we will have invite any one of you to take pictures with your child or student anywhere here. It could be on the basketball courts or out here. The only thing is we will have our Team B coming down in a little bit afterwards, but there will be plenty of time to take pictures should you want that. Each year at the 8th grade moving on ceremony, we present 4 prestigious awards named after individuals who have made a lasting impact on our school and community. Each of these awards are represented by plaques in our school, and this year's recipients will have their name forever etched on them. These are difficult decisions to make each year because so many of our 8th graders have demonstrated the qualities of each of these awards and honor the lives of the 4 individuals for whom each award is named after. The first award to be presented is the Lance Corporal Anthony Villardo Award. Lance Corporal Anthony Villardo was a graduate of Wakefield High who went on to serve in the Marine Corps. In March of 1966, he became the first casualty of the Vietnam War from our community of Wakefield. He was 21 years of age when he lost his life serving our country. The Anthony Villardo Award is given to a student who has demonstrated outstanding citizenship and has made selfless contributions to our school. This award symbolizes our core values of integrity, serving our community, and personal excellence. This year, the Anthony Villardo Award for Team A will go to Dejaline Medina. Before I call my partner here, Dejaline Medina, in case parents don't know, she was our Project 351 representative from the Galvin Middle School, which is an 8th grader from the 351 towns and communities in Massachusetts that go down and do some community service work and kind of give back to the state, and then they bring it back, and Dejaline ran a Cradles to Crayon clothing drive a few weeks ago. So well done, Dejaline.
The last, says the last. Am I going? Okay. The next award is the John Rogers Galvin Award. General Galvin grew up in Wakefield on Pleasant Street, and after graduating from Wakefield High School in 1947, he served in the Massachusetts Army National Guard before being accepted into West Point. General Galvin rose through the ranks in the United States Army to become a prestigious 4-star general. In the history of the United States Army, there have only been 232 4-star generals, dating back to the very first 4-star general, George Washington. In addition to his brilliant military career, General Galvin also had an equally impressive academic career. He was an accomplished writer, author, and professor, and he earned a master's degree in English from Columbia University. Later on, he taught English literature and writing at West Point for 3 years and authored 4 books that are on display in our school lobby. In the early 90s, the Wakefield Junior High School was renamed to the Galvin Middle School in recognition of his impressive life accomplishments and love of the Wakefield community. General Galvin passed away in September of 2015 at the age of 86, and his final resting place is at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. The John Rogers Galvin Award is given to the student who has consistently demonstrated our school's core values of integrity, community, acceptance, respectful relationships, and excellence. This year's John Rogers Galvin Award for Team A goes to Emma Burns.
Our next award is the Stephen J. Turner Award. Traditionally, Stephen's wife Diane would be with us in person for this presentation, but on her behalf, I will present this year's award and recipient. Steve Turner was a beloved member of the Galvin Middle School faculty. He worked with those students who faced significant challenges in their lives. Steve fiercely advocated for and never gave up on these students. He helped students overcome obstacles and grow into mature, poised, and resilient young people. To see the growth these students made from Steve's guidance was truly remarkable. He was a mentor, a coach, a teacher, and a trusted adult to countless students. Steve lost his battle with cancer in March of 2001 at the age of 49. As a tribute to the lasting impact Steve made on the Galvin, the rock wall in our Galvin gym was proudly named after him. When we opened the new Galvin a few years ago now, Our staff did not rest until the rock wall sign came along with it. It's a testament to the impact Steve had on his colleagues and our community. The Stephen J. Turner Award is given each year to a student who has demonstrated exceptional growth and achievement while overcoming challenges. This year's Stephen J. Turner Award for Team A goes to Alexis Davidson.
All right, before I do the last award, kind of miss an opportunity here. I really want to give our 8A teachers a huge round of applause. The work they did this year was remarkable. I want to take every opportunity I have to thank them for what they did this year to keep our students engaged and connected in school. So thank you all. The next award is a really personal one to me. The field behind us is named the Dr. Paula Mullen Award. Dr. Paula Mullen spent 25 years working for the Wakefield Public Schools. She was an athletic director at Wakefield High for many years, and then became an assistant principal here, and then principal here at the Galvin Middle School. She was a mentor to many of us, including some of our teachers here, who she hired, and she was an inspiration to many of us during her impressive career. I had the privilege to serve under her as an assistant principal, and she was the greatest mentor of my life, and somebody that I try to live up to every day. Dr. Mullen battled cancer for many years. Because of her never give up spirit and fight, she continued to defy the odds time and time again and lead the Galvin Middle School while she carried this personal battle. She was the first and foremost, she was an advocate for students. She had a special connection with all students, but she loved rooting for the underdogs. She maintained a positive attitude every day while persevering through her own challenges and struggles. She made everything about everyone else while always kind of putting her own needs aside. The Paula Mullen Spirit Award is given each year to a student who demonstrates this type of spirit, positive energy, brings a smile to the school every day, does their best, tries to make the school a better place. About perseverance, this year's recipient is the epitome of what this award's all about. It's been an honor to watch a student grow over the last few years and develop into a mature, responsible young man while always smiling and doing a great job with his classmates. Please call up Sean Callanan to the stage. So with everything else this year, we had to adjust on the fly with all of our planning. So this year we did our moving on a little bit different. Usually it's the whole 8th grade class, but this is a nice opportunity to stay connected to your 8A team and your teachers. We do have time for pictures for families. You don't need to rush out. So there's plenty of space here if you want to connect with your families, get some photos. We do ask that by 10 o'clock that we transition back inside. Is that fair, Mr. Tetrault? All right, let's give our 8th grades one big round of applause. And we hope to see you tonight at our parade, 5:30 to 6:30. We'll do a rolling on parade.
Thank you, everyone. Kids, you can find your parents, or you can just hang out here.
All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our 8th grade Team B moving on ceremony. We've made it. Big round of applause, all right. A couple weeks ago, we weren't sure what was going to be possible, so we are so grateful to have this day, this beautiful weather. This is our second ceremony this morning. We sat down the 8th grade team out here, and things went really well. We had time at the end, plenty of time for pictures with families, so please know that. Mr. T will read some directions on how we're going to do this in just a few minutes, but I do just have a few opening remarks before we get started. So normally, I'd congratulate you on completing 4 successful years as Galvin Generals, but we all know the last year and a half has been anything but typical. You have endured an incredible amount of challenges and adversity since last March. As adults, all of us have been in awe and inspired by the way you've handled yourself and your commitment to your education. It started with one day of Learn Anyway last March. I don't think any of us realized what was in store for us. We went to full remote, then we had Zoom classes, and then we started something called a hybrid schedule. Then we came back to full in person. You didn't have any dances, you didn't have any lockers, you had socially distanced lunches, some very questionable movie choices by Mr. Tetrault. We had mass and mass breaks. What were those about? Constant hand sanitizing, which you guys did such a great job being responsible. You had cohorts instead of classes. That was new for us. You stayed in your classes while your teachers rotated to you. And while I have that in my mind, let's give our Team B teachers a round of applause. They were amazing this year. As well as all of our specialists. Just like you, our teachers had to learn on the fly, and I'm so proud of the work this team did together. It truly was a challenging, crazy time, but you led the way as 8th graders, and every year, I truly believe that 8th grade has set the tone in the school. And I've never needed an 8th grade class to come through the way you did this year, and you guys more than met the challenge. Whatever was thrown at you, you handled it with grace and dignity. Despite all the missed opportunities and challenges, you are leaving the Galvin, I believe, more prepared than any other 8th grade before you to handle what comes next. You learned how to make adjustments. You learned how to be flexible. You learned how to organize yourselves, whether it was online or here at school. You learned to never give up, no matter how challenging things got. You learn how to work together and come together as a community. You learn how to ask for help. You learn how to be creative. And those are life lessons that are going to serve you well moving forward. So I'm not one that believes in this idea of learning loss. I think you learned a ton about life and a ton that's going to serve you well as you move on to high school. So we're proud of you. We're proud of what you've accomplished, not just this year, but over the last 4 years. You rose to the occasion. You carried us as a school. As you move on to this next chapter in your life, please know that Galvin will always be a home for you, and we can't wait to hear about all your successes. A few lessons we want you to remember that you didn't get in your textbooks, but that we try to teach you every day. Dream big, believe in yourselves, choose your own path. Never give up. Keep that perseverance up just like you did this year, and never be afraid to ask for help. Don't ever underestimate what you're capable of. Each and every one of you. And last but not least, what you've heard for the last 4 years every day is do the right thing and take care of one another. So on behalf of the Galvin school community, we wish you continued success and happiness in high school and beyond. We will always support you, and Galvin will always be your home. Enjoy the next few days together. As Mr. T always says, after Friday, this is it. You're all going in different directions. So take advantage of this time you have, these next few days, as a gift to treat each other well and enjoy the time. Have a great, safe summer. Thank you. It's been an honor to serve as your principal. I'm going to turn over to Mr. T.
All right, thank you, Mr. Colantoni. Before we begin today's moving on and recognition ceremony, we would like to let everyone know how the ceremony will work. We'll work through the entire team, going one cohort at a time. We'll begin with cohort 1, then 2, then 3. Students, when your name is called, please stand and wait at your seat until all the rest of the students in your cohort have been called. Once all 15 students are standing, we'll give a round of applause at that time, and the entire cohort will come up and stand over in the open field to my left, your right, in a straight line so your parents and invited guests and family members can get a good picture. When you come up to the tent area, you'll stay in alphabetical order, and you're going to leave from your left. You guys, your left. Everyone knows their left. Yep, nice work. Nice job. Left. And you'll make your way on up and get your moving on certificate from Mrs. Hammer and a COVID-safe fist bump from Mr. Colantoni. The entire cohort will remain over there for any pictures, like I said, parents. Also, at this time, we will give a round of applause, and then we'll invite your students all back when we give you the indication to go back to your seats. Without further ado, we're going to begin the 2021 8th grade Moving On and Recognition Ceremony. I'd like to call up, I think it's Mr. S for B1, right? Mr. S, our math teacher for B1.
Peter Abenante, Stella Bankson, Matthew Beaver, Anya Belanger, Gwyneth Buckley, Luke Dixon, Brianna Donegan, Morgan Donegan, John Fitzgerald, Madeline Fournier, Jack Hodgen, Casey Holtz, Eliza Margolis, and Alexander Stone.
All right. Well done, B1. Alexander, if you can walk back to your section. This time I'm going to call up our B2 teacher to start announcing the B2 students, Mrs. Marquis.
I'll wait till they sit down. Okay. Layla Atui, Henry Brown, Megan Clark, Audrey Cook, Kevin DeGray, Daniela Dotto, Rebecca Melanson, Abigail Mayette, Benjamin Oliveri, Jalak Patel, Jacob Robley, Leonardo Sanchez, Cassidy Silva, and Nicholas Wiedemeyer.
All right, one last round of applause. B2. As B2 is making their way to the back to this section, we're going to call up our B3 teacher, social studies teacher, Mr. Terrio.
Grace Brackett, Kelvin Bryant, Leah Connors, Jordan Hart, Francisco Leal, Andrew Nemick, Sean Newman, Juliana O'Neill, Dagan Pothier, Jacob Sanchez, Ariel Shaw, Kai Toiloy, Chase Walker.
There's our B3 cohort. As B3 is making their way back to their seats, I'd like to call up our B4 teacher, English teacher, Mr. Winarski.
All right, B4, time to move on. Colin Alla, Allison Bly, Ethan Cabral, Thomas Casali, Juliana Conti, Ryan Fowler, Michael Glennon, Jaslyn Irola, Samuel Jerzak, Tully McHugh, Abigail Poole, Ava Serrano, Matthew Shea, Evelyn Vicente, and Ayla Willis.
Another round of applause for our B4 cohort. Ayla, if you can walk them back to their area. At this time, while B4 is walking back, I'd like to call up the B5 teacher, Mrs. 70.
Vera Chankauer, Jacob Ciriello, Albert Correa, Taylor Dubiel, Kip King, Robin LaRusso,
Danica Marchino, Miranda Menjivar, Emma Navarro, Matthew Reed, August Sani, Leo Schools, Luke Shea, Francis Sullivan, Rayanne Williams.
Well done, B5. Round of applause for B5. Rayanne, you can lead them back, Rayanne. So we have one more cohort, and then after the cohort, we have a few recognitions we would like to do for the Team B. But at this time, could our science Team B teacher, Mrs. D'Ambrosio, please come on up?
Cameron DePrizio, Mia DeSisto, Cade Esposito, Ava Gagnon, Joshua Lopez, Patrick Hudd, Owen Mertens, Ryan Metzis, Juliana Mezzine, Tegan Norton, Nicholas Scarpa, Amber Smith, Audrey Smith, Chandler Streeter, and Declan Warren.
Again, get up close to your parents. Get up close. Yeah, nice little line. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, take a little step. There it is. Great. One final applause for B6. They're almost all back. Just give them a minute. All right, we just want to recognize a few eighth grade Team B students. We want to recognize a few students that put in some time and effort for designing the yearbook this year. Our eighth graders are always charged every year to design the yearbook. And there's a few from the B team that were part of the the yearbook committee. And so at this time, we'd like to call up Eliza Margolis. Stella Bankston. Maddie Fournier. And Casey Holtz. Another organization and group that we have here at the Galvin Middle School is our peer mentor group, and our 8th graders, a few of them this year, continued that tradition with working with our younger students, our 5th and 6th graders that might need a little bit of help academically. And so we have a few students from the B team that volunteered their time this year. We'd like to recognize the commitment to inspiring academic excellence for our young students with our Galvin Middle School peer mentors, Daniela Dodo, and Henry Brown. Our next award and recognition is for 8th grade Health and Wellness Award. This is going to 2 B team students who demonstrated excellence in health class this year. First person is Stella Bankston. And Henry Brown. Our next 2 awards here are for consistent excellence in 8th grade physical education from the Team B, and our 8th grade Scholar Athlete Award for academic and athletic excellence. The first award for consistent excellence in physical education is going to a student who was able to show his character supported his ability to show up every day either on Zoom or in person and bring a high level of energy and commitment to the classes. Consistency is a huge part of being successful in life, and this student demonstrated that he can support that as he did in PE class every year. We'd like to congratulate Luke Dixon. The next award for athletic excellence and academic excellence in the classroom both happen on playing in the field, and this student demonstrated her ability to be successful in both areas. The success she attained was a result of her hard work and constant commitment to be her best. Being successful in both the classroom and in athletics takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and there is no price tag for that. We would like to congratulate Grace Brackett. The 8th grade Visual and Performing Art Award for excellence in art. This recipient is a self-motivated, hardworking artist. Ms. Seveny has enjoyed watching his work evolve over the years. He is a positive force in the classroom, quick to encourage others, and provide meaningful feedback. We're looking forward to seeing what he does in the future. Congratulations to Jordan Hart. The next 8th grade Visual and Performing Art Award for Team B for excellence in art is going to an engaged and thoughtful student. He has been a consistent presence in the art club where he was a leader, always helping and encouraging his peers. His positive energy and enthusiasm for creative endeavors is contagious. We're looking forward to seeing what he does in the future, and we would like to congratulate Owen Mertens. And our final recipient for the 8th grade visual and performing art, excellence in art, is going to an incredibly thoughtful and reflective artist. She is truly invested in her work, and her craftsmanship is excellent, and she is continually growing in her practice. We know she will do great things ahead of her. We would like to congratulate Ava Gagnon. All right, our next award is for our 8th grade Team B Directors Award for consistent excellence in orchestra. Oh no. Thankfully, I don't need those. It is like a wind tunnel in here. All right. This student began in orchestra a little later than her classmates, but quickly became a leader and a strong player on the viola. She leads by example and can always be counted to do the right thing. It has been a pleasure to teach this student and to expect success to follow her next year. Ms. Bowen and the GMS Music Department would like to congratulate Jalak Patel. Eighth grade Team B Directors Award for Excellence in Concert Band honors an outstanding middle school band student for their achievements and commitment to band. This person has been a member of the low brass section during their time at the Galvin Middle School. They have an exceptional work ethic in and out of the band room and have been a multi-instrumentalist on both baritone and trombone in both band and jazz band. They will continue on next year to be a member of the Wakefield High School Marching Band, and this year's recipient goes to Nicholas Wiedemeyer. Our 8th grade STEM Award for Excellence in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. This recipient has always approached problems presented to him in a methodical, precise way to reflect his understanding and solution development. The student works fluidly through every problem presented to him and displays his knowledge through truly astonishing design solutions. It has been a pleasure to learn and grow with him over the years. As a department, we hope that the student will continue to share his designs and solutions with his community to ultimately make it better for everyone. We would like to congratulate Jacob Robley. The next STEM Award for Excellence in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. The student has fully embraced the tactile and hands-on understanding of building from the foundation up. The student has always had an eye for design and understands the value of what goes into a strong, lasting solution. While we don't always see eye to eye on the write-ups, this student has proven time and time again that his knowledge is sound. We wish this student the best of luck on their next build and know that they will continue to contribute greatness to the community. We would like to congratulate Leo Schools. Our next awards are going for world language. We have three recipients for the world language department. The world language teachers are so proud of the progress of all of the students, especially through the challenges of this year. But it is an honor to present the Excellence in Spanish to 3 hardworking, spirited students who have shown consistent effort, interest, and passion for their learning. The first recipient of this award is Layla Atui. The next student recognized for world language excellence is Henry Brown. And the final recipient of this award goes to Kevin DeGray. Final awards are team awards. Team B, the most team spirit for Team B has 2 recipients. The first one for 8th grade Team B, Megan Clark. And the second recipient for the most team spirit for 8th grade Team B, Kip King. Our next award goes for the most consistent effort, and it's going to 2 8th graders on Team B. Day in, day out, consistent effort was not an easy task this year, given everything we had to deal with. Most consistent effort with 8th grade Team B, the first recipient is Juliana O'Neill. And the second recipient for most consistent effort throughout the year, Juliana Conti. And the final team awards are going to go to students who demonstrated the most conscientious attitude towards their work all year. 8th grade Team B, the first recipient is Brianna Donegan. And the second recipient for most conscientious student from Team B, August Sani. So before we close out the ceremony tonight, we have today, we have 4 more awards that we're going to give. Parents, we want you to know that once we're done, we will have time to take pictures with your kids if you want over here, and we'll have a little bit of time before the Team C team comes down for their moving on ceremony. So we'll have probably at least until 11:30 to do pictures and whatnot, and then we will have to get ready for the next group, okay? But our last awards we'll present. Each year at the 8th grade moving on ceremony, we present 4 prestigious awards named after individuals who have made a lasting impact on our school and community. Each of these awards are represented by plaques in our school, and this year's recipients will forever have their name etched on them. These are difficult decisions to make each year because so many of our 8th graders have demonstrated the qualities of each of these awards, and they honor the lives of the 4 individuals for whom each award is named after. The first award to be presented is the Villardo Award. Lance Corporal Anthony Villardo was a graduate of Wakefield High School who went on to serve in the Marine Corps. In March of 1966, he became the first casualty of the Vietnam War from our community of Wakefield. He was 21 years of age when he lost his life serving for our country. The Anthony Villardo Award is given to a student who has demonstrated outstanding citizenship and has made selfless contributions to our school. This award symbolizes our core values of integrity, serving our community, and personal excellence. This year, the Anthony Villardo Award for Team B goes to Maddie Fournier. Yes. These are in the right order, though.
All right. The next award is the John Rogers Galvin Award. General Galvin grew up in Wakefield on Pleasant Street, and after graduating from Wakefield High School in 1947, he served in the Massachusetts Army National Guard before being accepted into West Point. General Galvin rose through the ranks in the United States Army to become a prestigious four-star general. In the history of the United States Army, there have only been 232 four-star generals dating back to the very first four-star general, George Washington. In addition to his brilliant military career, General Galvin also had an equally impressive academic career. He was an accomplished writer, author, and professor, and he earned a master's degree in English from Columbia University. Later on, he taught English literature and writing at West Point for 3 years and authored 4 books that are on display in our school lobby. In the early 90s, the Wakefield Junior High School was renamed to the Galvin Middle School in recognition of his impressive life accomplishments and love of the Wakefield community. General Galvin passed away in September of 2015 at the age of 86, and his final resting place is at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. The John Rogers Galvin Award is given to the student who has consistently demonstrated our school's core values of integrity, community, acceptance, respectful relationships, and excellence. This year's John Rogers Galvin Award for Team B goes to Eliza Margolis.
Our next award is the Stephen J. Turner Award. Traditionally, Stephen's wife, Diane, would be with us in person to present this award, but on her behalf, I will present this year's award and recipient. Steve Turner was a beloved member of the Galvin Middle School faculty. He worked with those students who faced significant challenges in their lives. Steve fiercely advocated for and never gave up on these students. He helped students overcome obstacles and grow into mature, poised, and resilient young people. To see the growth these students made from Steve's guidance was truly remarkable, and he was a mentor, a coach, a teacher, and a trusted adult to countless students. Unfortunately, Steve lost his battle with cancer in March of 2001 at the age of 49. As a tribute to the lasting impact Steve made on the Galvin, the rock wall in our Galvin gym was proudly named after him. And when we opened the new Galvin a few years ago now, our staff did not rest until the rock wall sign came with it. It was a testament to the impact Steve had on his colleagues. The Stephen J. Turner Award is given each year to a student who has demonstrated exceptional growth and achievement while overcoming some big challenges and obstacles. This year's Stephen J. Turner Award goes to a student who just recently held a rally here at our school and did some great work thinking about how kids and adolescents can stay safe. And so we want to present excuse me. I'm sorry, excuse me. I was a little early. This year's recipient for the Stephen J. Turner is Patrick Hudd. Patrick Hudd. I've ruined that one now. Sorry, so it's not going to be a surprise now.
Mr. Tetchall took the suspense out of this next award, but congratulations, Patrick. That's a remarkable award for Mr. Turner, and as you all know, in the gym, we have that rock wall up there. He's a tremendous person in our school community. The last award is one that's very personal to me. This field right behind me is named the Dr. Paula Mullen Field in honor of the late Dr. Paula Mullen, who many of our adults in the audience may be familiar with, possibly. I know some of our teachers worked under Dr. Paula Mullen's leadership. She hired me as an assistant principal in the old Galvin, and I had just the wonderful opportunity to learn from her. And to this day, she remains the greatest mentor that I had in my career, and someone that I look to live up to every day. She served as an athletic director at Wakefield High for 25 years, then went on to become assistant principal here and then principal. She was such a mentor and inspiration to many. I think really what set her apart was for a lot of her career, she had her personal battle with cancer. And the outlook wasn't very positive for her when she was first diagnosed, but her positive spirit and her positive energy and her willingness to just keep going, she defeated the odds time and time again. And I remember as an assistant principal just being in awe of her every day, watching her pull up, put aside her own worries and health, and just lead this school with a smile on her face. One of the things I also remember about Dr. Mullen was she was always rooting for the underdog. She would always go find the students that were struggling, and she'd try to connect with them and help them and give them a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth chance, whatever they needed. And I learned so many life lessons from Dr. Mullen. It was an honor for me to present this award. The student that we acknowledge for this award in each team is somebody that we think comes to school every day with that same type of positive energy, positive smile, does things behind the scenes to make the school a better place. Mr. T, let the secret out on the award winner here. This student recently led a rally this weekend on her own. It was a great turnout. I also had the privilege of joining a book club with this student recently and got to know her very well. And this is a student that every day I've known her has always had a smile on her face, has always brightened my day, and has always brought just nothing but positive energy to the school, and someone that Dr. Mullen would be very proud of. So please, this time, welcome Ava Gagnon for the Dr. Paula Mullen Award. So that does conclude our formal ceremony today. Great job, everybody. Tonight is our Rolling On Parade. It's a great opportunity for all of our Galvin staff to join us. Today is our wonderful Team B, but at the Rolling On Parade, a lot of you teachers from 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, specialists, many of them will be here to celebrate you tonight. So that's 5:30 to 6:30. We hope you can make it. Please stick around for pictures and photos. We have our next ceremony at what time? 12:30. 12. So we have about 15 to 20 minutes if you'd like to get some pictures with your family. Thank you for being here. All right, well, it's now officially good afternoon to our families, students, and staff for our Team 8C Moving On ceremony. We made it. How awesome is that we're here today? Big round of applause. So this is really exciting that we have this opportunity. This is our third ceremony. We had teams A and B out here earlier today. At the conclusion, there will be time for students and families to get some photo ops, but kind of our first orders of business are to recognize our most important people today for their Moving On ceremony. Before I do that, I just want to take a quick opportunity to recognize all of our Galvin staff out here today who just did remarkable work with these students this year, and we couldn't got through this year without their efforts. So thank you to our teachers. And I suppose I have to thank Mr. Tetrall for all his hard work, and Miss Hammer. Thank you, Miss Hammer, Mr. Tetrall. So ordinarily at a Moving On ceremony, I would congratulate you for 4 successful years at the Galvin, but we all know that the last year and a half has been anything but typical. Going back to March 13th last year when we were all home on a Friday, I don't think any of us had any idea what was in store for us over the last year and a half. But the one thing I can say with full confidence is that you as students, particularly 8th graders this year, have continued to inspire us all as adults. We've been in awe of you this whole time. Each and every day, your commitment to your education has been fantastic. It's been remarkable. You started with full remote, then you went to Zoom classes, then we created these crazy hybrid schedules, then we came back to full in person, then you had no lockers, you had socially distanced lunches, we put you in things called cohorts. The teachers had to come to you. You stayed in classes. At lunch, you didn't sit at lunch tables, and you had to watch Mr. Ted Todd's questionable movie decisions throughout the year. But you endured, like everything else, you endured. And it was just, you were a class act the whole way. So whatever challenge was thrown at you, you handled it with grace and dignity. So despite the missed opportunities that you were not able to participate in the last year and a half, you are leaving the Galvin, I think, much more prepared than any other 8th grade to take on whatever comes your way in high school and beyond. You've learned so many things. You've learned how to make adjustments. You've learned how to navigate different schedules. You've learned to be flexible. You've learned just to show up and figure it out. You've learned how to organize yourself, whether it's been on Zoom or in person. You've learned how to ask for help. You've learned how to be creative. You've learned how to rally together as a community. And those are life lessons that you're going to take with you that are far more important than anything else. So in terms of learning loss, that's not something I buy into. I think you learned a ton over the last year and a half, and I know you're going to be well prepared for high school. So as you move on, just know how proud we are of each and every single one of you in your individual journey, not just this last year and a half, but the last 4 years through middle school. As you move on from the Galvin, this is just the start of a new chapter, a new beginning. But we hope you take some important lessons that we've tried to teach you each and every day. Lessons not in the textbooks. Dream big. Believe in yourselves. Never give up. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help. Don't underestimate yourself. Don't sell yourself short. Believe in yourself. And the one thing you've heard each and every day from us the last 4 years is do the right thing and take care of one another. Even when nobody else is doing the right thing, that's when it's most important. So on behalf of the Galvin community, I want to thank you for all your efforts this past year in leading us as student leaders in the school. We'll always support you. GMS will always be your home. These next few days, enjoy them. Be good to each other. You'll never be together as a class again, as Mr. Tetrall will tell you. You're all going in different ways next year. So take advantage of these next few days to treat each other well and end strong, okay? It's been an honor to be a principal. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. T to get our moving on ceremony started.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Colantoni. Before we begin today's moving on and recognition ceremony, we would like to let everyone know how the ceremony will work. We will work through an entire team, going one cohort at a time. We'll begin with cohort 1, then 2, 3, so forth, so forth. Students, when your name is called, please stand and wait at your seat until all the rest of the students in your cohort are called. Once all 15 students are standing, we can all give a big round of applause, and at that time, the entire cohort will come on up, and we'll lead you out to the grassy area over there, where any parents might want to take a picture if it's your kiddo's cohort. When you come up to the tent, you want to make sure that you're going to stay in alphabetical order, leaving from your left. Does everyone know where their left is? Yep. I know it's all right. We just had lunch, the food. I get it. Right. So you move into your left, and then you're going to go on over, and you'll receive your moving on certificate from Mrs. Hammer, and a friendly COVID-safe fist bump from Mr. Colantoni. The entire cohort will remain over in the grassy area for any pictures, like I said, parents. And without any further adu, we're going to begin the 2021 8th grade moving on ceremony recognition for Team C. So can I please have, I think it's Mr. Montero, are you C1? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Mrs. Bucher, math, Team C1.
All right, I am hoping that I'm not going to mess up any of these. Here we go. Uriel Bork, Sam Carpenter, Catherine Crane, Luke Greif, Owen Kelly, Nicolo Labiniak, Christopher Lock-Zanzato, Brendan Lynch, Aiden Martin, Liam Mertens, Nick Rorick, Kayla Timas, Sophie Veyer, Trevor Veyer, and Zacchaeus Zyvan.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. Huh? Yes, this is also our kickball champions, C1 kickball champions. Big battle on Friday. Big battle on Friday. Well done, C1. Make your way on back. As they're making their way back, I'd like to call up to the podium a C2 teachers. I'd like to call up the C2 teacher, science teacher, Mr. West.
C2, Shane Bardall, Jamie Green, Eric Hubbard, Brendan Lean, Ethan Mezikovsky, Patrick Murphy, Zaina Ubihi, Daria Powers, Kayla Rainville, Miguel Romero, Anthony Salazzo, Nivea Waterman, Brody Wyatt.
C2, well done, everyone. C2, if you want to head on back. While C2 is heading on back to their seats, I would like to call up Mrs. Bucher again for C3.
All right, C3, starting with Ali Atwi, Jaylee Conway, Anna Carolina, Reese McDowell, Kyle Morelli, Jay Nelson, Gabriella Paginotti, Clara Pontes, Bianca Renzulo, Brisley Lopez, Maeve Skirmerhorn, and Ankush Sharma.
C3, well done. Big round of applause for C3. You can head on back to your seats. At this time, I'd like to call up social studies teacher from Team C, Mr. Collins.
All right. We got Janisa Andrade, Marcelo Angel, Pharrell Bagudi, Nate Brissett, Michael Carroll, Matthew Carter, Gavin Caswell, Javith Che, Matthew Cipriano, Shane Conroy, Susie Suzita Hernandez, Adam Levy, Francesca Nardone, Ava Sasso, Alana Schuster, and Gabby Trainer.
Well done, C4. Big round of applause for C4. As C4 is heading on back, we'd like to call to the podium our Team C English Language Arts teacher, Mrs. DeLacy.
All right, in C5, we have Thomas Baronato, Dylan Bashara, Samantha Bordenaro, James Fabry, Sarah Fletcher, Kathleen Gamelch, Ben Hickey, Kim Lima, Elizabeth Police, Julia Robertson, Karina Silva, Patrick Simpson, Catherine Tanian, Jack Van Dort, Pedro Villanalil, and Emma Waldeck.
All right, a round of applause for C5. As they are heading back to their seats, I'd like to call up our science, technology, engineering, and math teacher, Mrs. Palmer.
All right, C6, we have Dominic Alvarado, Kai Blackman, Afra Bukataya, Niani Brewer, Owen Brudnick, Noah Carnes, Madison Chapman, Tristan Cunha, Timothy DeBenedictis, Audrey Dick, Derek Doyle, Bly Early, Rudy Gerwick, Kayla Hurley, Devin Jones, Joseph Lanza, Ellie Leon, Sasha Morton, Pragathi Ram, Lily Salee, Maria Silva, Patrick Sweeney, Addison Ursity.
Oh no. Nice pickup. It's very windy over here. All right, round of applause for C6. Great job, C6. We'll give you a minute to get back. Great to see C6 here today. All right, for the second half of our ceremony today, we'd like to recognize a few C-Team students for their hard work all year, and there are some academic awards, there are some recognitions of team awards as well. But we're going to start off with the yearbook staff certificates. So our 8th graders are charged every year with designing the 8th grade year, the school yearbook, and there was a bunch of 8th graders that participated in that this year, and so we want to recognize them for their hard work. And the yearbook came out fantastic. You all have a chance to sign each other's yearbooks on Friday. All right. So first one up, Liam Mertens. Zaina Obidi. And Samantha Baldonado. The next group of students we would like to recognize is for our Galvin Middle School peer leaders, our peer mentor leaders. There is a commitment to inspiring academic excellence for our young students and our peer mentors. They actually, our 8th graders, they mentor 5th and 6th grade students here at the school. And so these next groups of students volunteer their time all year to do that. So we'd like to recognize Owen Kelly. Lily Salee. Our next award is the 8th grade Team C Director's Award for Consistent Excellence in Orchestra. This student has been one of the most creative students to pass through the middle school orchestra program. It has been amazing to watch the student's progress into a talented bass player as well as a composer. The student's appreciation for and studies of different genres of music means he brings a really interested perspective into our rehearsals. We look forward to hearing the music he creates in the future, and we want to say congratulations from Mrs. Bowen to Yuri Bork. Our next 8th grade Team C Director's Award, again, Consistent Excellence in Orchestra, goes to a student who has been determined and reliable for the past 4 years in orchestra. The student has a passion for music that has made her a joy to teach. Personally, from Miss Bowen, she says, "I can't wait to see the progress you will make in high school orchestra program." Congratulations from Miss Bowen, and she would like to recognize Audrey Dick. This next student, again, is an 8th grade Team C Director's Award for Consistent Excellence in Orchestra. This student's participation in both orchestra and band for the past 4 years has set him apart as a true team player at the Galvin Middle School. The student is a fantastic viola player and percussion student and is a reliable section leader in both ensembles. This student's musical compositions for orchestra also add another level of his musicianship. We're confident that this student will continue to do great things at the Wakefield High School Music Department. We would like to recognize Brendan Lynch. And a final Team C Director's Award for Consistent Excellence in Orchestra. This student has earned the Director's Award for Orchestra for his deep commitment to his instrument. This person has excelled in the orchestra for 4 years, as well as the jazz band ensembles. The student takes regular private lessons to hone his craft and has auditioned for and been accepted into the Junior District Festival Orchestra, which is a true testament to his level of skill and dedication. This student will undoubtedly be successful in the Wakefield High School Music Department. We want to recognize, Ms. Bowen would like to recognize Zacchaeus Savan. Eighth grade Team C Director's Award for Excellence in Concert Band. The Team C Director's Award for Band honors outstanding middle school band students, their achievements, and commitment to the band. This person has been a member of the trumpet section during their time at the Galvin Middle School. They have an exceptional work ethic in and out of the band room. A 4-year member of the band and the jazz band, and they will continue on next year to be a member of the Wakefield High School Warrior Marching Band. This year's recipient is Owen Kelly. The Director's Award for Jazz Band honors outstanding middle school jazz students, their achievements, and their commitment to the art of jazz. This recipient is an alto saxophonist in the jazz band and concert band. As an 8th grader, they were accepted as the first chair saxophone player in the Northeast District Junior High Jazz Band. Next year, as a freshman, they will be a member of the Wakefield High School Wind Ensemble and Warrior Marching Band. This year's recipient, Nicolo Labiniak. Oh, sorry. We have fun with Nico's name. Last, the Outstanding Musician Award for Band goes to an 8th grade student who has been mastering their instrument inside and outside of the classroom. During his time at the Galvin Middle School, this student has been a multi-instrumentalist in multiple ensembles. The student has been a percussionist in the concert band, a drum set player in the jazz band, a member of the chorus, and member of chamber chorus. A 2-year member of the Massachusetts Music Educators Association Northeast District Junior Honors Band. He has an exceptional work ethic and sets a tone with his preparation and has an exceptional work ethic. He will continue on to next next year to be a member of the Wakefield High School Wind Ensemble and the Warrior Marching Band. This year's recipient, Samuel Carpenter. This year's art awards go to students who care deeply about their artwork and who work consistently to grow and improve. These students have earned this recognition with their hard work over the last 4 years, and it has truly been a pleasure to have them in class. Our first recipient is an engaged and thoughtful student. Mrs. Seveny has enjoyed watching her work grow and evolve over the years. She is a positive force in the classroom, and she is looking forward to seeing what she does in the future. Our first 8th grade Visual and Performing Arts Award for Team C Excellence in Art goes to Sophie Veyer. Our next recipient is a conscientious and dedicated artist. Her craftsmanship is excellent, and she is reflective in her practice. She goes above and beyond with her artwork. This student invests herself in her work, and Mrs. Seveny knows she will go on to do great work. The second recipient for the Excellence in Art Award goes to Sarah Fletcher. And our final recipient is a creative, thoughtful person. They've worked so hard every year, and especially this year, through our remote classes. This student showed up with enthusiasm and a positive attitude each and every day. I've enjoyed watching their work grow and evolve through the years, and look forward to seeing what they will do in the future. Our final recipient for excellence in art goes to Jay Nelson. Health Awards. This year's Health Awards go to students who consistently work hard and showed an eager attitude to learning about health. Each student was respectful towards their classmates, reliable, and was seen as a leader in the classroom. This award is well deserved, and the health department would like to recognize these next nominees. For consistent excellence in 8th grade, Sorry. Well, we're going to go on to the next one. Sorry. Come back to health. Aha. Now we got it. 8th grade Health and Wellness Award. Excellence in Health, Team C, goes to Lily Salee. This next student is being recognized not only for health, but also for physical education. 8th grade Scholar Athlete Award from Team C for academic athletic excellence, as well as excellence in health, goes to Luke Grief. And finally, for consistent excellence in 8th grade physical education, Team C, for their energy and nonstop level of play, and always being a positive attitude in the classroom, goes to Maeve Skirmahorn. Because we do have a world language teacher here. Yeah, brilliant. All right, I'll do this for now. So the recipients of excellence in Spanish and or French Award have earned this recognition with their hard work over the last 4 years. These students have always been such hard workers and did not let the difficulties of this year deter their efforts or perseverance towards success. They constantly have pushed themselves to truly learn the language, collaborate with others, and participate in Spanish or French to better their skills and capabilities. The recipients for Spanish and Excellence in World Language from Team C is Ali Atui. And the second recipient for 8th grade World Language Award Team C, Excellence in Spanish, Alana Schuster. The recipients for French, for Excellence in French from the World Language Department. The first recipient goes to Elizabeth Police. And the second recipient for the Excellence in French, Pragati Ram. Oh, goodness gracious. We didn't have it for the chorus one. We just got this in. All right. So the 8th grade Team C Directors Award for consistent excellence in chorus and for their positive attitude through this pandemic year. We have our first recipient, Samantha Bordenaro. And the second being given to by Keenan Riley to Elizabeth Police. We also have our STEM teacher to present the STEM awards.
All right. So this first award goes to a student who, even though they were remote, spent extra time and attention every class to make sure that they fully understood the problem, went out of their way to ask questions, and I couldn't be more proud of their growth, and I think they deserve everything about this. So Pragati, Ram. This second STEM award goes to a student who, over the last 4 years in particular, has grown in so many ways. Not only have they really embraced their chosen identity, but they also have worked tirelessly to overcome all of their fears in the wood lab and in 3D printing and design. And I'm honored to be able to share this award today with Jay Nelson.
All right. Last group of awards before we get to our 4 major awards. We have our team awards, which honor the consistent effort, the positive attitude, and the conscientious learners across all 6 cohorts. So our first group here for our conscientious learners for 8th grade Team C. The Team C person would like to recognize Madison Chapman, who might not be here today. Madison's not here today. That's all right. And the second person from Team C for conscientious learner, Elizabeth Police. Demonstrating consistent effort all throughout this year has been quite a task, but these next recipients earn a lot of credit for what they've had to do. And so the 8th grade Team C would like to give the recipients for consistent effort to Ava Sasso. And the second recipient for consistent effort goes to Timothy DeBenedictis. Team spirit is a tradition here at the Galvin Middle School for each team to honor a sixth grade. We get balloons flying. We honor honor our eighth graders for their spirit and the energy they bring to the team. And so the Team C Team Spirit Award, the first one goes to Dominic Alvarado. And the second award goes to Nicolo Labeniak. Each year at the 8th grade Moving On ceremony, we present 4 prestigious awards named after individuals who have made a lasting impact on our school and community. Each of these awards are represented by plaques in our school, and this year's recipients will have their names forever etched on them. These are difficult decisions to make each year because so many of our 8th graders have demonstrated the qualities of each of these awards and honored the lives of the 4 individuals for whom the award is named after. The first award to be presented is the Velardo Award. Lance Corporal Anthony Velardo was a graduate of Wakefield High School who went on to serve in the Marine Corps. In March of 1966, he became the first casualty of the Vietnam War from our community of Wakefield. He was 21 years of age when he lost his life serving our country. The Anthony Velardo Award is given to a student who has demonstrated outstanding citizenship and has made selfless contributions to our school. This award symbolizes our core values of integrity, serving our community, and personal excellence. And I know from this particular recipient, they've done a lot of fundraisers outside of school, which is pretty remarkable. This year, the Anthony Velardo Award for Team C goes to Luke Grief.
The next award is the John Rogers Galvin Award. General Galvin grew up in Wakefield on Pleasant Street, and after graduating from Wakefield High in 1947, he served in the Massachusetts Army National Guard before being accepted into West Point. General Galvin rose through the ranks in the United States Army to become a prestigious 4-star general. In the history of the United States Army, there have only been 232 4-star generals, dating back to the very first 4-star general, George Washington. In addition to his brilliant military career, General Galvin also had an equally impressive academic career. He was an accomplished writer, author, and professor, and he earned a master's degree in English from Columbia University. Later on, he taught English literature and writing at West Point for 3 years and authored 4 books that are on display in our school lobby. In the early 90s, the Wakefield Junior High School was renamed to the Galvin Middle School in recognition of his impressive life accomplishments and love of the Wakefield community. General Galvin passed away in September of 2015 at the age of 86, and his final resting place is at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. The John Rogers Galvin Award is given to the student who has consistently demonstrated our school's core values of integrity, community, acceptance, respectful relationships, and excellence. This year's John Rogers Galvin Award for Team C goes to Kayla Timas.
Our next award is the Stephen J. Turner Award. Traditionally, Stephen's wife, Diane, would be with us in person to make this presentation, but on her behalf, I will present this year's award and recipient. Steve Turner was a beloved member of the Galvin Middle School faculty. He worked with those students who faced significant challenges in their lives. Steve fiercely advocated for and never gave up on these students. He helped students overcome obstacles and grow into mature, poised, and resilient young people. To see the growth these students made from Steve's guidance was truly remarkable. Steve was a mentor, a coach, a teacher, and a trusted adult to countless students. Unfortunately, Steve lost his battle with cancer in March of 2001 at the age of 49. And as a tribute to the lasting impact Steve made on the Galvin, the rock wall in our Galvin gym was proudly named after him. When we opened the new Galvin a few years ago, our staff did not rest until the rock wall sign came along with it. It was a testament to the impact Steve had on his colleagues. The Stephen J. Turner Award is given each year to a student who has demonstrated exceptional growth and achievement while overcoming challenges. This year, I'm proud to present the Stephen J. Turner Award for Team C goes to Patrick Sweeney.
All right, congratulations to all of our students for their moving on certificates and all of our award winners. I am going to present the last award. This one's very special and personal to me. The turf field behind us is named the Dr. Paula Mullen Field. For those of you who don't know Dr. Paula Mullen, she spent 25 years working in Wakefield as an athletic director at the high school, became an assistant principal here at the Galvin, and then went on to become principal of the Galvin. One of the reasons why this is a personal award for me to hand out is because she hired me as an assistant principal back in our old campus. And she was and still is the greatest mentor that I had in my career, and I found myself so fortunate and lucky to have that opportunity to work with her. Dr. Mullen battled cancer for many years towards the end of her career, and the outlook was not promising for her when she was first diagnosed. With that said, she was fiercely determined to beat her cancer, and she showed up here every day to lead this school, and she put aside her own personal struggles to bring nothing but positive energy, smiles, and determination to this school community. And I remember very fondly the days that I had to work with her here, her showing up, knowing what she was going through, but putting it aside to lead the school community, inspired me to be the best I could every day. So when we think about the Dr. Paula Mullen Award, we think of a student who comes to this school every day, puts a smile on their face, has the courage to do the best they can, and brings positive energy to this school campus. So the student that's going to win this award, it's truly been a privilege to watch this person grow up over the last 4 years from 5th grade to 8th grade and watch their just trajectory and growth from each year. I'm so pleased and honored to hand out the Dr. Paula Mullen Award this year to Patrick Simpson. So all of these awards are always difficult to choose because so many of our 8th graders are worthy of these awards. So congratulations to our award winners. That concludes our formal ceremony, but tonight we do hope that families come to our parade, 5:30 to 6:30. It's an opportunity for not just your team teachers, but a lot of your Galvin staff to be here and celebrate your last 4 years and try to give you the best goodbye that we can. So that's 5:30 to 6:30 here on campus. There's no designated time for the teams. It's any time during that hour. Okay, congratulations again. We'll give you some time now to meet with your families and take some pictures.